Okay, good morning. I call the June 24th, 2025 meeting of the DuPage County Board to order. I invite everyone to stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Kajewski, would you please lead us in the pledge?
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and I now invite my friend, Susan Steinmiller, from St. Paul's United Church of Christ in Downers Grove to lead us in the invocation.
Thank you. Good morning. Distinguished County Board members, Chair Conroy, and my brothers and sisters. Happy Pride Month. This month, observed every June, holds a significant importance. It's a crucial period for celebration, advocacy, and reflection for the LGBTQ community and its allies. Pride Month is a vibrant celebration of the LGBTQ plus identities and a testament to the progress made in a fight for equality. It's a time for individuals to express themselves freely and proudly, fostering a sense of community and belonging that can be profoundly impactful, especially for those that may feel marginalized or isolated, shut out. Parades and festivals and other events during Pride Month offer visible demonstrations of unity and joy, reminding everyone that love is diverse and should be embraced in all forms. Beyond celebration, Pride Month serves as a vital platform for continued advocacy and education. While significant strides have been made, LGBTQ plus individuals still face discrimination, prejudice, and violence globally, and sadly at home. Pride Month offers an opportunity to raise awareness about ongoing challenges such as legislative battles for equal rights, healthcare disparities, and disproportionate impact of homelessness in our LGBTQ youth. It encourages us and our allies to stand together and actively work towards a more inclusive and fair society, promoting and understanding and having empathy and a dialogue of shared experiences. And finally, Pride Month is a time for historical reflection, honoring the legacy of Stonewall Uprising in June 1969. Widely considered a turning point in the modern LGBTQ rights movement. It's a reminder of courage and resilience of those who fought for basic human rights in the face of systemic oppression. Recognizing this history is essential to understanding how far the movement has come and acknowledging the continued need for vigilance and activism. In essence, Pride Month isn't just a month of festive parties. It's a powerful annual affirmation of human dignity, a call to action for justice, and a beacon of hope for the future where everyone can live without being afraid of being who they are. Please join me in prayer or reflection. O divine source, known by many names, hear our heartfelt prayers. We ask for your blessings upon all gathered here and those held in our hearts. May we continue to serve you and one another through our diligent work, dedication, and unique gifts we bring to create positive change in DuPage County and the world. We offer our gratitude for the daily blessings you bestow upon us, often unseen, including the sense of community, leadership, and compassion we share as we serve our neighbors. Hear our ongoing prayers to empower us to be instruments for your justice and compassion, standing as protectors for the oppressed, the voiceless, the hungry, the homeless, the discriminated against, the frightened, and the abused. We thank you for those in the community who have influenced and blessed us in so many ways. The Leonardo da Vinci, the Sally Ride, the Harvey Milk, Florence Nightingale, Josephine Baker, James Baldwin, Billie Jean King, and so many more. We stand and pray for solidarity with the LGBTQ+ community, praying that we will not be reduced to a second-class citizenship through laws and policies fueled by hatred and discrimination. Hear these prayers and those that weigh heavily in our hearts and minds. Amen. Shalom, shalom. Sadhu, Amu, Amin, Namaste.
Mr. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll.
Member Cahill. Here. Member Childress. Yes. Member Covert.
Here.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Here. Member Galassi. Here. Member Garcia.
Here.
Member Heather. Here. Member Honig. Here. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu.
Here.
And Member Zay.
Okay. I'd like to invite Member Zay and Eric Rhodes to the podium. Okay. This month, we're celebrating Men's Health Month. We are recognizing June as Men's Health Month this morning at the request of Member Jim Zay. And it's a very important reminder for all of us to support the mental and physical health of the men in our lives. Our guest today, Eric Rhodes, president of Advocate Good Samaritan Hospital in Downers Grove, learned firsthand of the importance of taking care of his health. Allow me to read our proclamation, and then I will let Eric tell his very compelling story. Whereas Men's Health Month is part of an ongoing international effort to educate men, boys, and their families about receiving regular disease prevention screening and living healthier lifestyles. And whereas nationwide, life expectancy for men averages 5 years fewer than that of women, with men experiencing higher rates of health problems such as diabetes, obesity, cancer, heart disease, and premature mortality. Whereas Men's Health Month is a time for the public to recognize the mental and physical health needs of men and boys, while encouraging fathers to be role models for their children through preventative care screenings, healthy living, and seeking needed help. And whereas the epidemic of suicide and substance abuse requires special effort to raise awareness of unrecognized and undiagnosed depression and mental stress in boys and men. And whereas research shows that men who are educated about the value of preventative and protective health measures are more likely to participate in health screenings, decrease high-risk behaviors, and pursue healthier habits, therefore contributing to the overall health of our families and communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, members of the DuPage County Board, do hereby declare June 25th as Men's Health Month in DuPage County and encourage men and their families to take the needed time and proper rest and nutrition, exercise, and regular checkups to ensure they will lead longer and healthier lives. Second, all in favor? Approved this 24th day of June of 2025 in Wheaton, Illinois.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank Chair Conroy, Mr. Zay, and the entire board for the opportunity to speak with you this morning on such a very important and many times forgotten topic, which is men's health. You know, I've been president at Advocate Good Samaritan Hospital for a little over a year now. Approximately 6 months ago, I was welcoming our new teammates, as I do every 2 weeks, just to orient them to the hospital, meet the president, talk mission, vision, and values. I was walking to our meeting space and felt shortness of breath, which was extremely odd, for me. Workout, healthy lifestyle, etc. I was so short of breath that I actually had to sit down to finish the presentation. And so walked back to my office, and I was this close to just dismissing it as indigestion, but something just said, Eric, no, something's off. And so I decided to walk literally just 100 yards away to our emergency room. Once in the emergency room, a battery of tests, everything came back negative, negative, negative. So again, I'm thinking, all right, indigestion, just give me a script and send me on my way. The last test I received was a cardiac CT with dye, so they're able to see how your arteries are functioning within your heart. It was at that point that our interventional cardiologist walked into the exam room and told me that the main artery supplying blood to my heart was 92% blocked. And something very bad was brewing. Wasn't imminent, but it was brewing. 20 minutes later, I'm in the cath lab. And so during that time, they took literally a needle through my wrist, fished it in through my chest, put a stent, opened that artery up. 20 minutes later, I was in recovery and I was home the next morning. And so I share this story with you all as I've shared with many folks. If it could happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Never smoked a day in my life. Again, workout, exercise, but you just never know. And as a young man, you think you're invincible. The first thing I did was, call my buddies, like, hey, go find a doctor, right now. And so I think this is just an opportunity to highlight that, to highlight my story, to tell your dads, your sons, your uncles, your nephews, etc. Do not take it for granted. Please reach out to a physician and also listen to your body. If something isn't right, and be brave, be proactive. Don't rest on the invincibility that we think we have. Make it a point to get checked out. And I was lucky to be at the right place at the right time, surrounded by some of the best physicians at Advocate Good Samaritan Hospital. And I think the last thing they wanted was the president of the hospital to have an issue on their table. So I am beyond grateful to them. And it's funny, they did ask me for a raise right after it was done. But I am eternally grateful for our physicians at Good Sam as well as our team. They are the true miracle workers in all of this. So thank you all for this time. And again, thank you, Chair Conroy and Mr. Zay, for this opportunity.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Chair Conroy, for letting me bring this forward. I think awareness is the big word. Bring attention to health issues that disproportionately affect men, such as heart disease, prostate cancer, and mental health issue. Men die 6 years earlier than women due to preventable health issues. Over 300,000 men die each year to cancer. Prostate and testicular cancer receive less attention than other cancers. Suicide rates among men are significantly higher than women, yet mental health initiatives often fail to acknowledge interventions that resonate to men. Men are less likely to see doctors for regular screenings and checkups. I have two young men at my house, 24 and 21, and Heidi said if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would never go to the doctor, and I think that's with them. You see a gap between high school and college where men really don't go to the doctor unless there's something wrong, and I think that's what we have to get out there. A lot of this is preventable and treatable just by going for a yearly checkup. High blood pressure, cholesterol, we're talking, it's all in just a blood test and a urinalysis, and they can find a lot. Personally, after the election, I wasn't feeling great here. I was kind of dragging and figured, you know what? It's just I was tired. Finally, in February, I'm like, I have to go see a doctor. Went in for a battery test. They diagnosed me with emphysema. I've never smoked in my life. Couldn't understand it. They thought maybe it was COVID, maybe it was the vaccine, something. I had a history of kidney stones. They went back and looked, and they saw the holes there back then. So they think when I was young, I had pneumonia a lot when I was a child. I probably have had it my whole life, and just it didn't raise its head. But now I take other preventative that I can do. But again, it's just getting out there and getting the men out there. We all think we're tough, but we're really not. And it's just once a year going to the doctor, As Eric said, it's easy even doing a teledoctor thing, just getting in front of a doctor and getting out there. A lot of these diseases are preventable. So thank you again. I didn't say anything about my blood pressure going up through your...
What did he say? About his blood pressure? More than likely. He said that after I was here 6 months, after I was here 12 months, 18 months, now it's 3 years. You're welcome, Jim. Okay, so now we have the DuPage Small Nonprofit Check Award, and I would like to invite members Greg Schwarzy and Repeat Boutique Director Lynn Dugan to the podium. Okay, this is a very special day for some important organizations in our county. This board created a small nonprofit grant program to fund projects benefiting our residents in the areas of job readiness and literacy, education and mentoring, housing and shelter, behavioral health services, substance use disorder treatment, and food assistance. Today, we presented grant awards to 32 organizations totaling more than $700,000. Today, many of our grantees joined us for our short reception where board members were able to greet them and offer their congratulations. Member Greg Schwarzy, who chairs the Human Services Committee, worked with staff to fine-tune and administer this program in its second year. Greg, please tell us more about the process and the outcome.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. Today, we are proud of the organizations that met the criteria and were chosen to receive grants ranging from $5,000 to $30,000. The funding for this small nonprofit grant program comes from the American Rescue Plan Act investment earnings. Each board member here played a vital role reviewing applications which were previously vetted by finance, staff, and as a district, members made the award selections. From that group, applications were further reviewed by our state's attorney's office, and the grantees are here today receiving their checks. Most of them are out there on the behind the glass there. To tell us more about the impact that these grants have had, representing all the nonprofits who are awarded, we have Lynn Dugan here today. Her nonprofit, Repeat Boutique, offers clothing and household items for people in need who have been referred by community agencies. Chair Conroy, would you please do the honors?
Okay, and now, on behalf of the county board, we are proud to present this check for $711,000. That what?
$711,000.
Who wrote it like this? It looks like 711,000. Anyways, $711,336 and 2 DuPage small nonprofits. Who wrote that? Congratulations, Lynn.
So I'm honored to be here today, and it's with gratitude that I reflect all of the small agency grant recipients today. As Mr. Schwarzy said, that I'm from Repeat Boutique. I've been a volunteer at Repeat Boutique for the last 4 years. We've been in DuPage County serving people of need for 50 years. And we've been 100% volunteer run. And for the last 7 months, I've stepped into the executive director position as a volunteer. And because we've experienced exceptional growth, Just last year, we served 4,000 families. We give them free clothing and household items. They could shop with a referral. They could shop for free every 3 months for a whole year. So every season, 4 times a year, they could shop for their families. We saw 4,000 families last year, served 18,000 individuals. We have 70 volunteers, completely committed, wonderful people. But because of this growth, the breadth and depth of this growth, it is very difficult to keep up with this, this number. So what we are hoping to do with this funds for the, from the DuPage County grant, we thank you very much for this grant. It comes at an amazing time because what we've done, because of the increased numbers in our center, we've had to recruit more volunteers. We've had to appeal to a wider group of donors, both material donors. People come from the community and drop off clothing and household items, and maybe some of you do that for us, and we thank you, because if we didn't have the community support, we wouldn't have clothes on our floor for the clients who need it. It's a beautiful model of neighbors helping neighbors. It really is. But because of this incredible growth, 100% increase in the last 2 years of the clients we've seen, we've had to recruit more volunteers, appeal to the community for more donations. We also financially were supported by individuals, some churches, and some grantors. So it's a constant pursuit of the funds and the donations to make this model work. This grant, this small agency grant, comes at such a beautiful time in our history. It's going to be the seed money we need to hire an executive director. When I received word that our center had received this grant, I actually cried. I was so happy because you heard our call, and it's the call of all these agencies who are doing amazing work. DuPage County is such a beautiful model of how we are supplying the needs for our neighbors. And so I just want to thank you very much. On behalf of all of us, we thank you for this critical investment so we can continue to make meaningful impact and differences in the lives of people of DuPage County. So together we can ensure that dignity and relief are within reach for those who need it most. And I thank you very much.
On the matter of public comment, according to our county board rules, members of the public shall be afforded time to address the board. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes in length, nor shall the total time provided for all remarks exceed 30 minutes. And we have no speakers today. We had wonderful people here just a few minutes ago. If the board has received public comment via our online portal per board policy, those comments were provided to members yesterday so they could be reviewed. Comments submitted electronically will be included in the minutes of this meeting. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Mike Havilah to step to the podium. Mike is president and CEO of Loaves and Fishes Community Services, which is the largest food pantry in DuPage County and the state of Illinois. The agency provides food and support to more than 10,000 people a week. During my tenure as chair and since the pandemic first hit, the problem of food insecurity has been one of this board's continuously addressed issues. As we develop plans for fiscal year 2026, I thought it was important to get a snapshot of where we are at this point in time. For example, we know the number of food donations are inadequate to meet the demand. Pantries like Loaves and Fishes have innovated, identified alternative sources of fresh food, dairy, and protein. Loaves and Fishes focuses on creating true meals for families, concentrating on health, not volume. We also know we need to improve the ability to deliver fresh, nutritious food to people more efficiently so that perishable items can be quickly distributed. Mike is here today to explain how Loaves and Fishes is responding to these specific needs in the community and to seek our partnership. Mike, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Chair Conroy, and thank you to the rest of the board for allowing us to have some time here in your meeting to talk about the important topic of food insecurity and also talk about a new exciting project that we are working on. Again, I'm Mike Cavallo, CEO of Loaves and Fishes. I've been the CEO for about 8.5 years. I've been on the board for about 16 years, seen a lot of changes over those years. Let's see. Aim to you? Okay. Well, if you could just advance. Okay. I know many of you are familiar with Loaves and Fishes, but if you're not that familiar, a big part of our focus is providing healthy food to our clients. It's what they want. It's what they need. We also have our CARES programs, which helps people become more self-sufficient, because at the end of the day, we want people to be self-sufficient in our community. As Chair Conroy mentioned, we are serving 10,000 people a week now. In 2022, just three and a half years ago, that was 3,000 people. So we've more than tripled over the last 3+ years. Okay, yeah. Loaves and Fishes has been around for about 41 years. We started very small in the closet in the basement of a church. And over the years, we grew to become a small pantry, and then a medium pantry, and then a large pantry. Today, we are the largest food pantry in the state of Illinois. And on the typical day of food distribution, we provide about 20 tons of food. That's just a day. So it's a reflection of the need that's out there. Regarding food insecurity, you know, it's a vicious cycle, right? If somebody's in low income, high probability, very high probability they're food insecure. If you're food insecure, you have a much greater chance of having health issues, especially chronic health issues. And if you have chronic health issues, guess what? It's really hard to get out of being in a low income type situation. So it's a vicious cycle, and we're here to help break that cycle. In our community, about 1 in 5 people are either at the low income level, which most people define as 200% of the federal poverty level. So 1 in 5 in our community are either low income or under the poverty line. That's a lot of people. And, you know, it's a big, big issue. And, you know, again, it's something that unfortunately is growing. It's largely a cost of living issue. And as we've known, especially over the last number of years, cost of living has grown dramatically. So about 3.5 years ago, we put into service a new building, our food distribution hub. It's in DuPage County in Aurora, about 30,000 square feet. And this is not just a building. This was a whole change in our model in the way we delivered food and the access to that food to people in the community. So we changed from what we did as just sort of a monolithic food pantry into this whole hub and spoke model, which, you know, has our central hub in DuPage County in Aurora, 30,000 square feet. And then we have about a dozen other locations, most of which are in DuPage County, where we serve people in many different formats. It could be people shop in a market. It could be people get online ordering and pick it up from another location. It could be curbside service. And so we serve people in a lot of different formats in a lot of different places. The point is to get people more access to get help. Unfortunately, a lot of people who need help don't have access to that help. So let's talk about our hub here 3.5 years later. You know, how has it performed? How has the model performed? What have we seen? What data do we have? So first of all, by having the hub and spoke model, we've been able to expand and scale what we do. It's very, very important. Expanding, of course, I mentioned we're serving triple the number of people that we served before, but also something that doesn't get talked about a lot that's very, very important is that we've been able to reduce our cost to serve each client by 40%. That's huge. So every dollar that we get now goes a lot further in providing the same service to people. So lowering our costs by scaling by 40%. The hub and spoke model has also expanded access for people that are in need. People can get food in many different ways. We implemented online ordering, which we were unable to do with just having a single building as a food pantry. And I think just recently we passed 30,000 online orders that we fulfilled in just a couple years since we've had that running. So something that a lot of clients really need because of a number of different reasons. The other thing that the hub and spoke model has done is it's really helped us collaborate more with others in the community. And we'll talk about collaboration even more so with our new project when I talk about that. But collaboration is so important. It's such a better way to focus community resources. And then, as I mentioned earlier, healthy food is a critical cornerstone of what our clients need and people in our community need that are food insecure. And the hub, because of cold storage, because of flexibility, agility, all those things have allowed us to provide a lot more healthy food for those in our community. So where are we now? Unfortunately, the demand continues to rise. It continues to rise at a very high pace. The food insecurity, again, it's largely a cost of living issue, which is rising faster than wages. So demand is way up. Guess what? Our hub is now at full capacity. We thought we had at least 10, 15 years in our hub when we deployed our hub, but because the demand more than tripled in just a couple of short years, we are at full capacity at our hub. What this means is that we're not able to open up more spokes out in the community. What this means is we're not able to grow the spokes that we currently have as well. And by the way, this is not an issue that's unique to Loaves and Fishes. If you talk to most every other pantry out there, guess what? They are out of space as well. And so what we decided to do is sort of take the lead on, rather than having all of these pantries trying to solve this problem independently, that's not the most efficient use of community resources. What can we do to try and collectively solve this issue with this great space need because of the quickly rising demand for food? So Hub 2.0, this is our exciting new project. Hub 2.0 will add another 30,000 square feet of space to our hub, so doubling our hub. And when you think about 30,000 square feet and you think of a lot of the other pantries out there, that's a big number. That's a big impact on the whole charitable food system. The project will be about an $8 million project. We've talked with many contractors and civil engineers and so forth, and we're right about $8 million total investment. Importantly, a meaningful part of that investment is adding cold storage. We're looking to quadruple our cold storage. Cold storage, again, greatly in demand. It's a very valuable resource. I think if you had 10 pantries in the room here and you asked them how many people need more cold storage, I think you get 11 people would raise their hands. It's greatly in need. So we're going to make a huge impact on that. We'll triple dry storage, and of course we'll be able to serve a lot more people in the community. So adding more space is pretty good. That has a pretty big impact. But I will tell you what excites me probably most about the way that we're undertaking this project is that this is a project about collaboration. This is a project about community support. We have talked to other food pantries in talking about, here's our plans, here's what we'd like to do, will you join us? And so kind of what we worked out is that Loaves and Fishes is going to do all the work on building the building and making it happen. Loaves and Fishes is going to do all the work on fundraising. But what we're going to do is we're going to have other pantries utilize the space. And they're going to utilize that space for free. As I mentioned, cold storage is very scarce and is very valuable. Dry storage is also important as well too. And so there's a lot of excitement with other pantries on what we're doing here with this project. We've already had 3 pantries, names that you would all recognize here in DuPage County, actually sign our document to be part of this and share in this space with us. Keep in mind, this is about 2 years before ribbon cutting, and we've already got people signing documents to be part of this project. We're talking with a number of others as well, and so if this is an evidence of the need, and this is an evidence of a real project with real collaboration, I don't know what is. So again, this project, it's a community project. It's a way to utilize community resources in a much more efficient manner. You know, funds that support this project support multiple pantries all at the same time. Funds that support this project support so many neighbors, so many clients in our community that are food insecure. And it also puts dollars to work in a model, the hub and spoke model, that we've shown is very efficient and very effective in providing more access to people in the community. So the other thing I'll mention too with the hub and spoke model is it's also a very agile model. And so when there's a need, something that comes up very quickly, we saw something come up very quickly with DuPage pads earlier this year. We were there within a week's conversation providing food. And so it creates an agility also to respond to a need, respond to opportunities. So, so anyway, again, I just want to say thank you for giving us the time here in your board meeting. We are very, very excited about this project. And you know, this project is a community project, and it happens by the community supporting and participating in this project. So again, with that, thank you. And I would love, if we have time for
Does anybody have any questions?
I would love to
Member
talk.
Krajewski.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you for the very informative presentation.
Yes.
And I know several years ago we identified the food insecurity as an issue with regards to especially fresh produce. And so this board got behind an initiative to put like $5 million into it. And we used Northern Illinois Food Bank to
Yes.
buy at 40% discount. But the big issue was they're way up there and getting it into DuPage County. So the second half of what we were looking into a few years ago was to have more the transportation in the local hubs, which it seems like you've identified that issue. I'm not sure how much money we have left, but that was one of the second phase is how to get it in DuPage County and to all the food pantries. And so to the extent we're still doing with, well, buying the fresh produce or allocating the money, it seems to me it'd be easier to have it shipped directly into your hub, your secondary hub, than to go up to Northern Illinois Food Bank and then allocate it down here. You seem to have the infrastructure, so I would suggest, you know, our committee that's working on it, because I think that was a second component, was logistically getting it into DuPage quicker, and you've got cold storage, and then working with the locals to be able to come with, especially since we just bought like 8 refrigerator trucks for local pantries, they could easily come, pick up and move it too, without having to go very far. So I would encourage our Health and Human Services to work with Loaves and Fishes to the extent we still have money in that second half, which was the logistics and transportation. So, thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and I'll just add that we work with Northern Illinois Food Bank every day. They're a great partner. We work together on a lot of different things, and so, you know, however we can help out from a logistical perspective.
It just seems it's easier if they're buying it on the west coast of fresh produce instead of driving it up north, and then from there shipping it down here to DuPage. Seems to be easier to bring it into Aurora hub or the new hub that you have.
Thank you.
Okay. Member Colbert.
I just have a comment. Thank you so much for coming. I'm very proud of the work that you guys have been doing. You know, the fact that you're the largest food pantry, it's a testament as to how wonderful you've been doing and a wonderful job. So I'm excited for the cold storage, and I look forward to meeting with you, you know, supporting you however we can. So thank you for all the hard work that you've done in our community.
Well, thank you for those comments.
Okay, and I'll just add, it's no secret, it's become my favorite place to go when I want to get away from the craziness of the world and the country and what's going on, and you can go there and spend some time with some incredibly wonderful people who volunteer their time to do something good and get out of your head a little bit and do something for someone else. So we will see you soon. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I was thrilled last week to learn that DuPage County won 3 achievement awards from the National Association of Counties. The DuPage programs recognized were the DuPage County, no surprise, Hinsdale Lake Terrace Rideshare Access Program. And I want to particularly thank Member Evans, Member Galassi, and Member Kajewski for the amount of investment and time that you guys have done there to make sure that those community members are getting the resources that they truly need. It really has made a difference, and obviously we got national recognition for it, so thank you. Stormwater Management Water Quality Improvement Program grant. This program provides financial assistance to projects providing a regional water quality benefit to local waterways. I guess I got to thank Member Zay for that. The 18th Judicial Circuit Court Guardianship Help Desk. This is a really important one. This project provides access to attorneys for self-represented caretakers and families involved in guardianship hearings. Congratulations to all of our staff involved with these programs. We will have an award presentation at an upcoming board meeting. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I seek a motion to approve the consent agenda. Okay. All right, 25-15-69, DuPage County Board regular meeting minutes, Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. 25-14-80, 6/5-2025, auto debit pay list. 25-1500, 6/6-2025 pay list. 25-1508, 6/9-2025, 1000 special pay list. 25-1518, 6/10-2025 pay list. 25-1549, 6/13-2025 auto debit pay list. 25-1555, 6/13-2025 pay list. 25-1561, 6/17-2025 pay list. 25-1460, 6/4-2025 IDOR wire transfer. 25-1481, 6/5-2025 Corville wire transfer. 25-1494 County Clerk's monthly receipts and disbursement, thank you, report, May 2025. 25-1550 Recorder's monthly revenue statement, May 2025. 25-1568 Treasurer's monthly report of investment and deposits, May 2025. 25-1560 change orders to various contracts as specified in the attached packet. All in favor? Okay. And we'll move on to County Board and Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on to CBR 5625, resolution approving the member initiative program agreements.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Childress.
Yes.
Member Covert.
Aye.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia.
Aye.
Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. And Member Cahill.
Okay, thank you,
Madam
Vice Chair Childress. And on to Finance and Member Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. My committee update, again, we were just there, so most of you saw what happened. I do want to mention that the member initiative program is, since we just did approve them, it is going to be July soon, and so if you haven't got your member initiative program agreements signed or back to staff, I know they would appreciate you doing it sooner than later, so that's just your reminder. I make a motion to approve FICO 000225 on Actuate Consulting US Inc. This purchase order is being extended to January 31st, 2026, and increasing in the amount of $373,750 to allow the change in the go-live timeline to completely accomplish the implementation. These funds were decreased from the purchase order issued to Ceridian.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Garcia.
Aye.
Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. Member Cahill. Member Childress. Member Covert.
Aye.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. And Member Galassi.
Okay, Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 009925, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding for the Aging Case Coordination Unit Fund, Program Year 25, in the amount of $120,000.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010225, acceptance and appropriation of the HUD 2024 and 2025 Continuum of Care Homeless Management Information System Grant Agreement. This is in the amount of $199,080.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010325, acceptance and appropriation of the HUD 2024 and 2025 Continuum of Care Homeless Management Information System Agreement. This is in the amount of $84,800.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010425, additional appropriation for the Title 4D grant. This is for the amount of $1,629,842 for the State's Attorney's Office.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia. Oh, I'm sorry. Member Desart.
Thank you. I just wanted a little explanation. Does this grant come every year because it's the federal and state operating grants for salaries, IMRF, and Social Security? Does this come to us every year or come to the state's attorney's office?
I think, Lisa, you're in.
I mean, is this part of their budget? Does anybody know?
It does come, it actually gets renewed every
Year.
Last time it was 4 years, but now they're doing 2 years.
Oh, every 2 years we get this amount to offset the costs of the
It
state's
covers
attorney.
the operations of the state, what we do for child support enforcement.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Member Garcia.
Okay.
I think I said leave is granted. Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
Make a motion to approve FIR 010525, amendment to resolution issued to Corbell Corporation to add and approve the Corbell Corporation's CARE MC license agreement and mutual non-disclosure agreement as additional contract documents.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve the FIR 010625, approval of the 2026 holiday schedule.
Leave is granted. Oh, hold on. What? Okay. Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010725, acceptance and appropriation of the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network Grant for Program Year 25 Intergovernmental Agreement. This is the amount of $24,999 to the Sheriff's Office.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010825, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding for the Illinois Department of Human Services. This is for supportive housing grant for the program year 25. This is from $154,180 to $168,180. It's an increase of $14,000.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 010925, approval of employee compensation and job classification adjustments for facilities management.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 011025, budget transfers. This is for various companies and accounting units.
Okay. Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Garcia.
One more.
You have one more? Okay, then go ahead.
I make a motion to approve FIP 000625, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order issued to Riverdale Travel to provide travel services for various county departments for the period of July 1st, 2025 through November 30th, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $144,434.85.
And leave is granted. Thank you, Member Garcia. Okay, we have animal services, and we had quite a great weekend. So, Member Desart, do you want to fill us in?
We did. We had a wonderful ribbon cutting at the new Animal Services Center, and a lot of you showed up for that. It was just an amazing time to look at everything that we as a board have accomplished in our Animal Services facility. It's just, it's perfect. It's wonderful, and thank you all for coming.
Yes, it really was. And I really want to thank Chair Kajewski and Vice Chair Desart, who have really put in the long haul and dedicated themselves to making sure that this happened. It's pretty cool to see it when it all comes together. So congratulations to the entire board on that. Okay, and Development and Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of DCO 22-25, zoning 2515, an ordinance to approve a conditional use for a planned development to allow 2 attached dwelling units and 2 adjacent lots in the R4 single-family zoning district to reduce the north interior side setback, to reduce the south interior side setback, to reduce the north interior side setback, reduce the south interior side setback, and increase the floor area ratio. This was denied by the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Development Committee.
Okay, we need a roll call, please. It's been moved and seconded.
Member Tornatori.
No.
Member Yu. No. Member Zay.
No.
Member Cahill. No. Member Childress. No. Member Covert.
No.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia.
Nay.
Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. And Member Schwarzy.
Okay, Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of DCO 23-25, zoning 2516, McMaster, to approve a variation from section 33-704.3 to reduce the lot width from 75 to 50 feet for lots served by sewer and water to create 2 buildable lots on the property.
Okay, leave is granted. Member Tornatori. Oh, you need a roll call? Okay, roll call, please.
Member Tornatori.
Aye.
Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. Member Cahill. Member Childress.
Yes.
Member Covert.
Aye.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia.
Aye.
Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. And Member Schwarzy.
Okay, Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move approval of DCO 24-25, zoning 2518, Tessel, to approve a variation to reduce the interior side property setback for a new shed from 10 feet to approximately 3 feet 10 inches.
Okay, leave is granted. Member
Thank
Tornatori.
you, Madam Chair. Finally, I move approval of DCO 25-25, zoning 2525, to approve a conditional use to allow a second mausoleum building on subject property.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member
Thank you,
Tornatori.
Madam Chair.
Economic Development, Member Yu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last week at our Economic Development Committee, Greg Bedelov from Choose DuPage shared with us a quick video and summary report of the 2024 Industry Cluster Study. Such a study hasn't been done since 2016 due to the pandemic. The purpose of this study was to provide a comprehensive understanding of our DuPage economy, identify areas of competitive strength, and guide strategic economic development efforts. Some highlights of the study are that arts, entertainment, recreation industry is an emerging industry and continuing in an upward trend. But the leading industry in DuPage is healthcare, transportation and warehousing, and manufacturing and utilities. A QR code was shared with our Economic Development Committee members for the full 56-page study if other board members are interested in reading it, and can also be found at Choose DuPage's website. Also, our second Industry Insight Series session on healthcare occurred last Wednesday. It was a well-attended and vibrant discussion with representatives from the major healthcare employers in DuPage, including Endeavor Health, Advocate Health, Northwestern Medicine, American Pediatrics, Superior Ambulance, and our county health department. They all came to discuss the needs of their workforce and how to respond to those needs, and we are hoping to sustain the momentum and do a follow-up session this year. As healthcare is now the #1 economic driver in DuPage, as we learned from the study, this discussion was particularly timely, and I want to thank Lisa Shabak and her staff at WorkNet DuPage, their Workforce Innovation Board, and Choose DuPage for their work on this series. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. On to Environment and Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. No report today.
Okay, Human Services and Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to give one more thank you to Mary Catherine and her finance team, along with our state's attorney, Connor McCarthy. Joan, I want to thank you and your staff. I know Heidi played a big part in this, and staff from Community Services, Catherine and Brent, for putting together our event this morning. And I really want to thank Chair Conroy for supporting this program, and the entire board for your support and dedication to really helping those in need in DuPage County. So thank you again, everybody. Also, I was on vacation last week, and Vice Chair Garcia sat in a meeting being held at the DuPage Foundation, and it was a meeting for DuPage Funders Collaborative Food Insecurity Discussion. And since we're on the topic of food insecurity, I'd like Vice Chair Garcia to maybe let us know how that meeting went.
Sure. Let me give you a couple of highlights from there. I did attend the meeting. It was a funders collaboration, so we had people who were doing the work and then also people who were looking to fund. So it was a great discussion of how they could help in the best way. We had presentations from Loaves and Fishes, also from PRC, also from the Hinsdale HCS, and the Northern Illinois Food Bank. They had very big kudos for the county in terms of they thanked us often for the great work that we've done here as a board and for our chair, and in terms of the, and Human Services Chair Schwarzy, in terms of the fresh produce program. They love the fresh produce. They also, our capital program that we had through Human Services, where they were able to get like refrigerated trucks, so they were able to do transportation from one site to the other site. And so they are looking forward to doing more of that, but those have been very helpful for what they're trying to do. Statistics, as we just heard today, for food insecurity are frightening. They had totality numbers from 2023. 83 million meals were served by the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And if you think about that, 83 million were served. Living wage right now is about $37 per hour. And if you aren't making $37 per hour, they have many people who are working very much full-time, and they're having to come in there and get their food. So this is a problem had by all of us. 11% of our DuPage food residents are now, at least in 2023, were food insecure. I know those numbers, as we just heard today, have gone up exponentially. And again, if the federal funding stops, because they get federal funding for 13%, they're talking about how they're going to just have to stop feeding people, you know what I meant. Anyways, so the numbers are going up. We are going to have another meeting, and I'm looking forward to, hopefully, I'm sure Chair Schwarzy will be back at that point in time and be able to be a part of that. And I encourage anybody else, if you can be a part of these discussions, please do, because it is really eye-opening, and it is very, you just want to make sure that that's a big priority, and I know Chair Conroy has that as one of her priorities, so I thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Garcia. And finally, I want to thank you, Chair, for having Loaves and Fishes speak here today and give their presentation to this board. You know, keeping food insecurity at the forefront, I think, is so important, and the dedication of this board to fighting this, it's not getting better, it's getting worse, as you're hearing. And, you know, I know the federal government recently cut $1 billion of providing food and things like that. School program food, farm to table food. So knowing that this county board is dedicated to making sure at least DuPage County is fed is so important, and I'm very, very grateful to everybody here. So thank you. On to the agenda, I'll move on. Item HSP 2425, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Alpha Baking Company to provide assorted sliced breads, rolls, and sandwich buns for the DuPage Care Center and cafes on county campus for the period of August 5th, 2025 through August 4th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $43,200.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Tornatore. Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. Member Cahill. Member Childress. Member Covert. Member Dessart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia. Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. And Member Rutledge.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSR 1225, amendment to resolution HSP 2425 issued to Alpha Baking Company to provide assorted sliced breads, rolls, and sandwich buns for the DuPage Care Center and cafes on county campus for a one-time price increase of specific products.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSR 1325, recommendation for approval to combine two 2025-2026 Community Development Block Grant Public Service applications originally submitted by Catholic Charities, Diocese of Joliet, into one comprehensive application, resulting in one CDBG Public Service Project recommendation for Catholic Charities, Diocese of Joliet in program year 2025.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSP 2525, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Medline Industries, Inc. for various linens for the DuPage Care Center for the period August 10, 2025 through August 9, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $72,000.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. Finally, I move on HSP 2625, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to A. Lugan Contractors LLC to provide architectural and mechanical services for multifamily homes for the weatherization grant program for community services for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $1.8 million.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Schwarzy. Okay, Judicial and Public Safety and Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last week in JPS committee, we were honored to have State's Attorney Bob Berlin come to discuss the initial implementation of Karina's Law here in DuPage County. And these search warrants are really tricky when you want to, take somebody's guns away. And they're very complex. And we've only had one case so far, but it was through great collaboration with the Sheriff's Office and with the State's Attorney's Office. It really was the best case scenario. So I want to thank our State's Attorney, Bob Berlin, for coming to talk about it. And I'm sure there's more to come. So, and then also in JPS committee, we gave a recognition and commendation to Deputy Chief Coroner Tim Rounce. He is retiring after 36 years in DuPage County, and we want to thank him for his service because that is a huge loss to DuPage County. And with that, moving on to the agenda items, I would like to move on JPS R-9-25, Memorandum of Agreement between the Compass Church and the County of DuPage for the use of facilities to service as Disaster Relief Center Shelter, Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Evans?
Aye.
Member Galassi? Aye. Member Garcia? Aye. Member Heather? Yes. Member Honig? Aye. Member Krajewski? Aye. Member LaPlante? Aye. Member Ozog? Aye. Member Rutledge? Aye. Member Schwarzy? Aye. Member Tornatori? Aye. Member Yu?
Aye.
Member Zay? Aye. Member Cahill? Aye. Member Childress? Yes. Member Covert? Aye. Member Dessart? Aye. And Member Eckhoff.
Okay, Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on JPSP-30-25, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Kelly Graham to design and implement comprehensive job placement for unemployed probationers for the period of June 30th, 2025 through June 29th, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $32,000.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
And finally, I'd like to move on JPSP-31-25, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Lauren McLaughlin as a recovery coach coordinator to work with Serenity House and Path to Recovery coaches, probation, and other stakeholders to provide services to the participants in the program for the period of July 9th, 2025 through July 8th, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $45,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Evans. Legislative and Member Dessart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking Chip Humes and Mark Polis for joining us at the last legislative meeting for lively discussion. There are Springfield lobbyists, and also Greg Bales, our federal lobbyist, joined us in person as well to discuss what's going on at the federal level. So I thought it was a great discussion, and I thank them for coming. In the state, what's going on is the Illinois General Assembly remains on summer break. Both chambers will reconvene October 14th through the 16th and October 23rd through the 28th, through the 30th for the veto session. At the federal level, we all know we're smacked in the face with it every day on the news, what's going on in Washington. But I wanted to focus in on what's going on for DuPage County, and that's appropriations. The U.S. House Appropriations Committee continues their work on FY26 appropriation bills. There are 12 in total. The defense and Milcon VA bills have all passed the committee with full markup. What hasn't been marked up yet are local initiatives for DuPage County, and I just want to run those down for you, and hopefully you can cross your fingers and hope that these do go through. They haven't been voted on yet, but one is the from Ramirez, the $4.12 million Third Avenue Stormwater Management Project. From Foster, the $750,000 91st Street Infrastructure Transportation Project. From Krishnamurthy, the $300,000 Newton Street and 2nd Avenue Flood Reduction Project. And finally, from Senator Durbin, the $225,000 flood reduction project at Newton and 2nd Avenue. So let's hope that those go through. Right now, they're in the committee. So that's what's going on at the legislative level. Thank you so much, Chair.
Okay, Thank you, Member Desart. Public Works and Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No update, but I'd like to move on. PWP 1525 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Sheffield Safety and Loss Company for safety program management for various county departments for a period of June 25, 2025 to June 24, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,000.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Childress.
Yes.
Member Covert.
Aye.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia. Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. And Member Cahill.
Okay, Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on PWP 1625 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract at Commonwealth Edison for electric utility supplies and distribution services for the connected county facilities for public works for a period of June 29, 2025 through June 28, 2027 for a total contract amount not to exceed $3,360,000.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on FMP 2925 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Commonwealth Edison for electric utility supplies and distribution services for the connected county facilities for facilities management for a period of June 29, 2025 through June 28, 2027 for a total contract amount not to exceed $7,711,220.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on FMP 3125 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to TouchSource LLC to provide and deliver an outdoor touchscreen kiosk for the JTK Administration Building for Facilities Management for a period of June 25, 2025 through June 24, 2030 for a total contract amount not to exceed $40,877.61.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on. FMP 3225 on a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Hune Electric for Phase 2 installation of solar panels on the roof of the JTK Administration Building for facilities management for a period of June 24, 2025 through June 23, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $574,833.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
And finally, thank you, Madam Chair. And finally, I'd like to move on FMR 425, rescission of requisition 250748 for the approval of a contract to Whipply LLP to provide accounting services and support related to the pursuant of the Federal Renewable Energy Tax Credit as part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 for facilities management for a period of March 18, 2025 through March 17, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $16,370.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you.
Stormwater and Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank you for acknowledging the Achievement Award for our water quality program. I want to thank our director, Sarah Hunn, and the water quality staff led by Mary Beth Falsey for all their work on this program. To date, the county's invested $6.6 million to fund 112 different water quality projects. That's resulted in an investment of $64 million countywide. Past awardees are municipalities, businesses, schools, HOAs, Park District, and our own county campus. Again, it's a great program that's been going on for 25 years, and it's nice to get that recognition from NACO. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Strategic Planning and Member Heather.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had our second meeting of the year on June 10th, and I'm going to be honest, I was really, really surprised by how pithy, how informational that meeting was. So I just want to take a moment to thank all the staff members and all the, the department heads that came out to the work that they put in, not only to create the presentation, I mean, there was a lot of information, but also that they came out and presented and shared that information with us, especially to Sarah, that she covered a few departments, so thank you for that. And thanks to Jeremy for putting this all together. Thank you to all the board members that are not on the committee and still showed up to be a part. And many of you said that the meeting was really informational and they really took a lot from it, so thank you for being a part of that as well. We had presentations from Community Services, the Department of Transportation, Animal Services, Stormwater, and OSHEM. So I highly encourage all of you to go and watch this video. I'm sure you will learn a lot. I really encourage you to take a look and also welcome you to come and join our next meeting. These meetings are telling us that we are very closely tracking our strategic plan and making sure that we are not only meeting the requirement, but also just we are just killing it, really making sure that we are acing in terms of following a strategic plan. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chair.
Great news. Thank you, Member Heather. Okay, technology, and Member Colbert.
We have exciting news in the future, not at this time, so no updates.
Wow, okay. I wasn't ready for that. All right. But we will wait with bated breath. Okay, transportation to Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. By way of report, I want to acknowledge the work that John Loper and our transportation staff have done for the Hinsdale Lake Terrace Rideshare Access Program. It's a really nice recognition to start a program in January and already received national recognition. And I also want to recognize former board member Julia Brennahan, who really started advocating for this area and for this program and recognized early on that this is a transportation desert, and we've been able to do something about this and hope that we can continue. Going onward, I would like to combine items A, B, and C.
All in favor?
Okay. Okay. All in favor? I'm sorry.
We got a few ayes. Is everybody okay? Okay, all right. Proceed, please.
Okay, thank you. I move for approval of DTCO 125, amendment to contract purchase order 7593, one serve sales doing business as Lake County Trailers to furnish and deliver 2 enclosed trailers for the Division of Transportation to increase the funding in the amount of $1,000, resulting in an amended contract amount of $30,544, an increase of 3.38%. Move for approval of item 251461, amendment to resolution DTP 5724 issued to Lightly Enterprises of Ohio to furnish and deliver signed material rolled goods as needed for the Division of Transportation to increase the funding in the amount of $34,190, resulting in a revised encumbrance of $44,190 with no change to the contract amount. And I move for approval of item 251465, amendment to resolution DTP 005324 issued to Mandel Metals to furnish and deliver aluminum sign blanks as needed for the Division of Transportation to increase the funding in the amount of $26,800, resulting in a revised encumbrance of $41,467.88 with no change to the contract amount.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Member Ozog.
Yes.
Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu.
Aye.
Member Zay. Member Cahill. Member Childress. Member Covert.
Aye.
Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia. Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. And Member LaPlante.
Okay, Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 1525, awarding resolution to Compass Minerals America for the bulk rock salt program for an estimated county cost of $707,900 per lowest responsible bid.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
I move for approval of DTR 1625, awarding resolution to Builders Paving LLC for improvements to County Highway 33, 75th Street frontage road for an estimated county cost of $2,136,950.76 per lowest responsible bid.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
I move for approval of DTR 1725, agreement between the County of DuPage and Bloomingdale Owner LLC for traffic signal maintenance responsibilities at County Highway 11, Army Trail Road, and Bloomingdale Court, no county cost.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
I move for approval of DTR 1825, resolution to rescind DTP 1725, issued to Ozinga Ready Mix Concrete Incorporated to furnish and deliver Portland cement concrete as needed for the Division of Transportation and Public Works. Contract total amount $75,000.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
I move for approval of DTR 1925, recommendation for the approval of the annual financial commitment in support of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning to consolidate planning of land use and transportation for the 7 counties of northeastern Illinois, $79,263.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Move for approval of DTR 2025, recommendation for the adoption of the DuPage County Safety Action Plan.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
And finally, and thank you, I move for approval of DTP 3825, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Elmhurst Chicago Stone LLC to provide Portland cement concrete as needed for the Division of Transportation and Public Works for the period June 24th, 2025 through March 31st, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $64,000 per lowest responsible bid. Division of Transportation, $50,000. Public Works, $14,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Ozog.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to old business. Do any members have anything they want to share? Okay. Member Desart, you're always in front of her.
Thank you. I just really wanted to commend Greg Schwarzy, you chair. I mean, the small agency grants that we gave people today, it was a brilliant way to honor those who work so hard in our community. I mean, all we did as board members was give them money. They're out in the community every single day doing the work, whether it's music or the Ollie Gardens, whatever they're doing, they are putting in the work as volunteers. And I just feel so honored that I was able to give them money to facilitate their good work in the community. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else on old business? Member Krajewski.
Yeah, when I first got on the board in 2010, we were doing those $1 million grants to small business. Well, there were grants that are given to mostly small business, not-for-profits. And then down over the years, we eliminated that. But I want to thank our senior guy on the board here for making a comment a while ago about bringing those back, because he remembers those days when we used to do those.
It's good to have that old knowledge, isn't it? Member Covert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm also very, very happy that our wonderful nonprofits received the funds that they needed. And it was wonderful to work with my seatmates in providing the nonprofits in our area for those funds. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it this morning due to some reasons. But I'm really proud of them and happy to support. And I hope we could have another program like this again. I don't know if we'll have this in the future. I mean, I know we're probably not going to have ARPA funds, in the future, but I want to continue to support these wonderful nonprofits in our area. So thank you for doing this.
Okay. New business. Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. I'm not sure if other board members are aware, but from when I first came onto the board up until COVID, League of Women Voters always had an observer here, and that was Jan Kay, who was here every single Tuesday, always a delight, always smiling. Unfortunately, she passed away, and her services were last Thursday, I believe it was. So just wanted to acknowledge her efforts here at the county and offer our condolences to her family. She was definitely a light to have here.
Thank you, Member Rutledge. She will be missed. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I am informed that we do have matters before us requiring us to enter into executive session. I'll ask those not associated with executive session to please exit the room. I will take a motion to go into executive session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act 5, blah, 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 litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before our court or administrative tribunal. When the public body finds that an action is probatable or eminent, in which the case on the basis of the findings shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed session meetings. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll.
Member Cahill. Member Childress. Member Covert.
Oh, give it a
Member
minute,
Covert.
please.
Oh. Member Desart. Oh. Okay. Member Eckhoff. Member Evans. Member Galassi. Member Garcia. Member Heather. Member Honig. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Rutledge. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu. And Member Zay.